Same kind of chaotic hair, different dressing gown, same view. Only difference is I am sat in the swing. In case anyone is wondering, yes, it takes my weight. Yes, it is so comfortable, and yes, I have tried to put the dog in it and he freaks out, so I don't anymore. However, the dog is sat on the blanket. Where are you? Show the people your face. They want to see you. He's there. For anyone wondering, I think he's licking the mayonnaise I spilt by accident this afternoon. He is wonderful. However, this video is not about him. This video is about... Well, it's not about anything really. It's more about doing more Makaton, because I realised when I did my other videos, they were quite a while away, and I've had other friends come up to me and ask me for just the alphabet, like the plain sign language finger alphabet, which, if you're wondering, British Sign Language and Makaton are very different things. So is sign supported English, like they are very, very different, but they are often used together by some people. I use Makaton, but I also am verbal. So when I talk, I will use my hands with signs. That isn't sign supported English, because the Makaton signs don't always match what I'm saying or what I'm trying to say, but they are close enough for it to be very, very similar. Sign supported English, your words and your signs match each other, or you use a sign instead of a word because you don't know how to say the word or you can't say the word. Also, for anyone that just noticed the little twist in camera, it's because the dog just sat on my foot and I'm in a swing, so I don't have a lot of balance. I'm just comfortable. And British Sign Language is just that. A lot of the time people will use British Sign Language if they're non-verbal or if they're verbal but also at the same time struggle to communicate. It's much like how someone would use especially people like me, would use a ACC device or a communication tablet, which is what I use when they are struggling to communicate or can't communicate. I use mine in restaurants, I use mine in the cinema, I use mine when I'm with support workers or in meetings and I can't communicate. Like, that's why I use my Makaton. It's also why I use my tablet. And Jake is currently chewing a bottle, which is fine. He's allowed to do that. It's just, if you hear that, that's what that is. That weird noise is Jake eating a bottle beside my feet. So, right, I'm going to start with the obvious. I'm going to start with A, and hopefully, if I remember it all, because it's been a while since I've actually done the finger alphabet itself, I will end at Z. So this won't necessarily be a very long video, but at the same time, it's also a very important video, because if someone bounces across this and notices it exists and learns from it, great. If you watch it and learn from it, fantastic. If you watch it and you only pick up one or two things, that's great, that's fine. You don't have to pick every other thing up. It did take me quite a while to learn, and I've been doing it since primary, so it doesn't matter if it's not something you get straight away. Come back and watch it again. Watch it and watch my other Makaton videos as much as you need to get that in your head, because you never know how helpful it'll be for someone in your life, regardless of whether that's a past person, a present person, or a future person. And yes, because I'm autistic, that sounded really weird because I take everything literally. Like, my brain went from, why would I teach an alien Makaton or sign language, to why would I teach a ghost Makaton or sign language is in past person. It's weird in my head sometimes. I promise it gets a little less weird once you get to know me properly. I promise. Okay, here we go. When you're using... Bloody hell. I'm going to have to do it this way because I can't physically stay still. When you're using your BSL, you will sign onto this hand, onto your left hand using your right. Otherwise, some of them just don't look right at all. Like some of the signs don't work. So, your thumb, touching your thumb is A. So this is A. B, you use both hands. You put them in like that kind of shape. But like that, so your palms are facing towards you and your fingertips are out. And you connect your thumbs. So it looks like that when you're looking at it. Like basically like you've got glasses on, like when you were a kid and you're trying to pretend glasses. But that's B. And then C is just one hand again, which is quite handy for me because I'm currently using this hand to balance. C is that. You only use these two fingers and you curl them into the C shape. A C shape. Like that. Obviously mine's going to be a bit different from other people's, simply because of how my hypertonia affects me and how my balance issues affect me, because I'm also trying to balance and sign. Don't know why I didn't sit on the floor to do this, but I'm comfy now. I don't want to move. I still get my point across even if I have to do it really carefully, so it's fine. For D, you want the C shape you had, and then you want to bring this hand and you want to use this finger and put it together on top of together with the C shape to make a literal, it looks like a D shape. Even with your other little fingers in the way, I promise it looks like a D shape. You might have to practice that one because for me it took me a while because I don't have a lot of coordination. And I kept wanting to poke myself or poke the finger and it not worked. E. E is, again, you're just using this hand to point. E is this one. You're pointing at this finger here. And then F is how I've taught you previously that you say father or daddy. You want your these two fingers, which in all fairness, if you're usually just using one set, it looks like a peace sign. But you're not wanting a peace sign. You want to glue those two fingers together, like, not literally. If anyone with autism is watching, do not literally glue your fingers together. They are a pain in the bum to get back out. Trust me, I have tried. You want to have them stood next to each other. And you also want the same on this hand. And then you put your one set of fingers going this way, and the other set of fingers you're going to put on top of those sets of fingers going that way, so it'll look like that. I apologise if this is hard to see. I'm struggling to see it myself because I didn't think it all the way through, in all honesty. G is, as in G for God or G for giraffe, is just one circle fist, or the first circle fist, one on top of the other. That is G. H is lovely and easy. It is absolutely the easiest sign I think I've ever had to learn. You want one palm, your other palm. You want to slide this palm across towards your wrist, or in my terms towards the piece of jewellery on my wrist. And that's a H sign. Do not do it twice, because that means something very different, or it did mean something very different, but it doesn't anymore. It no longer means intercourse, but it used to mean that if you do it twice. Now doing it twice means happy, so that's a lot better. I is, again, this hand. This hand is just your pointer hand. This one's I. This finger, Your tallest finger is I. And then, again, for J, as in J for Joe or J for jacket, you want to trace a J shape down your ginormous finger, curl it down your giant finger, curl at the middle of your palm or towards the bottom of it, and up towards the end of your thumb. That's J. Like that. Now K confuses me still, and I've been doing this on and off 10 years now. K is a bit complicated. You use both your hands. You've got this hand and you've got this hand. What you want to do is you want to use this finger, I think, yeah, and this finger, and you're curling this finger down and connecting it to this one. Sorry, that nearly fell, and I didn't want it to fall on the dog. About there, and that'll give you the K shape. It's not the easiest of K shapes to make, but it works for when you're trying to communicate, especially if you can't communicate verbally. Obviously it'd have to be with someone who understood either sign supported English or the British Sign alphabet. And I'm still going through it in my head trying to figure out what comes next. J, K, L. L's lovely and easy. You're not going to hate me for L. L, you want this hand. You want it faced that way. And you want this hand. And again, you want this finger. And you want to do that. You are literally putting your finger onto your palm. That is L. M, again, as in M for mummy, M for motor, or M for mouse. You want both hands. You want this hand, and you also want this hand. What you want to do with this hand is bend down your thumb and your pinky finger till you've got like a number 3, like that. Turn this hand that way and place the 3 fingers on the palm of your hand. That's M. And then next is N, which is things like N for Nanan, N for nuts, N for Niagara Falls. You want to use both hands again. And this time, instead of making 3 with this hand, you want to make 2. Or the peace sign, as we've discussed it as previously in this video. But you want them together. You want them to be happy together. You also want this hand and you want it to be sideways. And what you're going to do is you're going to put this hand, your 2 fingers onto your palm of your hand, like that. That's N. O is on this hand. Again, you just need your pointer finger on your right, sorry. This is O. This finger is O. So you tap this one when you're trying to use O in the British Sign Language. P is actually, it's quite easy. You use your finger, this finger, and your thumb. You make a circle with those, like you're trying to say okay. And then with your pointer finger, again, you put it at the bottom where your 2 fingers meet. So here, you want to put your P. Q is very similar. It's the same action with your left hand fingers, like this, but on your right hand, you're using your pinky finger and you're slowly putting it and looping it round the thumb, the bottom of the thumb, to make a Q. And that's a capital Q. I don't think you can actually make a little Q in them. That is a point. Most of these you can't make as capitals, but they are seen as both in the British Sign Language. R is, as in R for rat, R for rainbow, is this hand laid that way again, and then this hand, you want your pointer finger, you want to bend it, and you want to put it on the palm of your hand so that it looks like, I guess you could say, a goose's head on your palm. That's R. S. Now this one is not simple unless you're used to making the shape with your fingers, because you only need your two, realistically for this letter, you only need your two little fingers, because what you're going to do is put every other finger down, and with this one and this one you're going to join together and you're going to bend them both around each other. So like they're hugging, like your two fingers are hugging, and that is S. T is sideways palm again. No, sideways hand and your palm. And then your pointer finger just goes there. So maybe a centimetre or two away from the end of your beginning of your wrist and the end of your pinky finger to make T. U again is just this hand and this finger on your right hand. U is this one. This finger here. Okay, sorry if you could hear me whispering, it's because I'm trying to remember the alphabet. I feel like that should be something I'm well versed in by now, being 27, but it really isn't. Not the greatest at the alphabet, because I'm not really... I write, but you never really write the alphabet down once you get out of school. That's just not how it goes. V, you are using both hands. You want to have this one sideways as per usual, or up. Actually, it doesn't matter for this, but in terms of it looking like paper, it's usually that way around. And then you do actually finally want a peace sign with these two fingers, and you will put your peace sign onto your palm to make V. W is another one where you want both your hands and you are getting both your hands, turning them so they face each other, and then bending them so that your fingers interlock, but you are not going to put either or like that. You are going to leave them pointed upwards. And that is W. X is in xylophone, is quite simple. It just involves this finger on this hand and this finger on this hand, and you are crossing them over. I don't know who came up with the British Sign Language, couldn't tell you, but I do enjoy doing it sometimes. I enjoy doing it in videos. I enjoy educating people about it. Y is peace sign with this hand. And wait, is it? I think it is. It's like that with this hand. So basically an L shape. And then your other hand, you want this finger, and you want to put it between the weird creasy bit of those two fingers to make the Y, and the Y tail that comes down when you've drawn a Y. And finally, Z, as in Z for zebra. And that's nice and simple too. Use both hands again. Sorry, I'm moving around a lot because I am in a swing and there is a Jake behind me, and under me I should say, and I'm not particularly balanced in general. You want this hand. You also want this hand. This hand you're going to turn so your palm is facing downwards, and then you're going to put it there. And that is Z. That was the British Sign Language alphabet, letter alphabet. I'm not too sure how much sense that made, because I just went from A to Z, but I also was moving quite a lot in the whole entire presentation. Well, video I should say, not presentation. That's the wrong thing. But that was what I've got today. I hope if you watch it, you learn something from it. Please ask if you want something more clear or you want something different from, like maybe spelling out words or learning certain words in actual Makaton. Again, because I can do that. And hope you liked it. Bye!